Every single second, enough sunlight strikes the Earth to power the entire world's energy needs for a full year. But how do we capture this massive, flowing stream of pure radiation and turn it into the electricity that powers our lives? The secret lies in the photovoltaic effect, a phenomenon where light hits a semiconductor and knocks electrons loose. This movement of electrons creates an electrical current, effectively turning sunlight into a flow of usable power. To harness this, we use solar cells, which are the fundamental building blocks of much larger solar panels. These individual cells are wired together in a grid. They form the powerful solar modules we see covering rooftops today. But there is a catch. The electricity generated by these cells is direct current, or DC, which flows in only one direction. Our homes and the power grid, however, run on alternating current, or AC, where the flow of electrons constantly reverses direction. To bridge this gap, we need an essential piece of hardware called an inverter. This device acts as a translator for the energy. The inverter takes that steady stream of DC power and rapidly switches its direction back and forth to create usable AC electricity. This conversion process is what allows the sun's energy to seamlessly power your refrigerator, lights, and even your computer. Once converted, the electricity flows through your home's electrical panel and into your circuits, ready to do work. But what happens if the sun goes down or a thick cloud passes by? This is where the concept of energy storage becomes critical. To bridge this gap, many systems include large-scale lithium-ion batteries. These act as a reservoir, holding onto excess energy produced during peak daylight hours. When production drops, the system automatically draws power from these batteries. This ensures your home remains powered without interruption, regardless of the weather. This creates a more resilient setup known as a hybrid system. It provides not just sustainability, but true energy independence from the traditional utility grid. However, most homes are still connected to the utility grid. This connection allows for a two-way street of electricity through a device called a smart meter. During periods of massive overproduction, you can actually send your excess solar energy back into the grid, potentially earning credits on your utility bill. But this system of exchanging energy isn't universal. It relies heavily on a policy known as net metering. Net metering allows utilities to credit you for every kilowatt hour you contribute back to the network. Without the favorable policies, excess solar energy might simply be lost or sold at much lower rates. To understand how this works on a technical level, we need to look at what happens inside the solar panels themselves. Solar cells are made of semiconductor materials, most commonly silicon, which react when hit by sunlight. This process is called the photovoltaic effect, where photons knock electrons loose from their atoms. But these loose electrons can't just wander anywhere. To create an electric current, we need to force them to move in a single direction. This is achieved by creating an internal electric field. We do this by layering two different types of silicon, known as P-type and N-type. The N-type layer is infused with phosphorus, which provides extra electrons, while the P-type layer is doped with boron to create positive holes. Where these two layers meet, a junction is formed. This creates a built-in barrier that acts like a one-way street for the moving electrons. Now, when sunlight strikes the cell, the energized electrons are pushed by this field toward the top layer, setting them into motion. This flow of electrons is exactly what electricity is. By capturing this movement through metal conductive plates, we can harness usable power. But a single solar cell only produces a small amount of voltage. To create something truly useful, we need to connect them together. By linking cells in a series, we stack their voltages, much like adding more batteries to a flashlight to make it brighter. When hundreds of these cells are wired together, they form a solar module, also commonly known as a solar panel. These panels are then grouped into larger arrays, covering rooftops or vast fields of land to capture massive amounts of energy. However, there is a catch. The electricity generated by these cells is direct current, or DC, which flows in only one direction. Most of our homes and the power grid operate on alternating current, or AC, which constantly reverses its direction. To bridge this gap, we use an essential piece of hardware called an inverter. This device acts as a translator, converting the DC electricity into usable AC power. But the sun doesn't shine 24 hours a day. When clouds pass over or night falls, solar production drops significantly, creating a gap in energy supply. This brings us to the concept of intermittency. Because solar energy is dependent on weather and daylight, it cannot be relied upon as a sole constant source without support. To solve this, we can use battery storage systems. These large-scale batteries capture excess energy during peak sunlight hours, so it can be used later. By pairing solar panels with batteries, we create a more resilient and stable system. This allows us to smooth out the peaks and valleys of energy production. This integration is the foundation of a smart grid, where energy is not just collected, but intelligently managed and distributed across entire communities. But the true potential of solar power lies in its scalability, ranging from tiny residential rooftops to massive utility-scale farms. At the utility scale, these installations act as massive power plants, generating enough electricity to support entire cities and industrial sectors. This transition requires more than just hardware. It demands a fundamental shift in how we perceive our relationship with the sun. We are moving away from centralized finite resources toward a decentralized model of abundant, renewable energy. As technology advances, solar efficiency continues to climb, capturing more photons with every passing year of innovation. This evolution is turning the sun from a distant star into our most reliable partner in a sustainable future. Yet, the true potential of solar lies in integration. From smart grids to transparent window coatings, we are weaving solar harvesting into the very fabric of our civilization. The transition is complex, but the destination is clear. By harnessing the infinite power of our sun, we secure a resilient, carbon-free legacy for generations to come.